Hey y'all, and welcome to PolitiBrawl. My name is Brian, and Virginia Foxx does not hold back on these Democrat mayors who have been wasting billions of taxpayer dollars on illegal migrants, and she is not standing for it anymore. Let's dive in.
Chair recognizes Dr. Foxx from North Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mayor Johnson, in the last 4 years, how much has Chicago spent on care for illegal aliens?
Thank you for that question, Congresswoman. So since 2022, since the governor of Texas began shipping...
Just tell me a number. I don't need a speech. Just tell me a number.
So since 2022, since the governor of Texas was shipping individuals to cities across this country, the city's budget, roughly 1% of the city's budget over the course of 4 years.
Mayor Johnston, the same question, and I don't need a speech, just a number.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you, Congresswoman. It's $79 million over the last 2.5 years.
Mayor Adams, same question. How much has New York spent to care for illegal aliens?
Approximately $6.9 billion went out of our taxpayers' funds.
Mayor Wu, same question. How much has Boston spent to care for illegal aliens in the last 4 years?
We do not ask about immigration status and giving city services and providing that access, so we do not have a number.
Taxpayers have been bearing the brunt of the massive wave of illegal aliens who've entered the United States. The Biden administration seemingly declared taxpayers and hardworking Americans collateral damage in the pursuit of open borders. Again, Mayor Johnson, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Chicago?
In accordance with the Welcoming City Ordinance, our sister agencies or city departments, we do not seek the status of any individual that is seeking service.
Mayor Johnston, are NGOs providing services to illegal aliens in Denver?
Thank you, ma'am. When folks arrive on the streets without food or resources or shelter, we do provide food or shelter regardless of where folks arrive from.
Mayor Adams, same question.
Yes, in combination of city agencies and nonprofits, we responded to the migrant asylum seekers humanitarian crisis that hit our city.
And Mayor Wu, I assume you don't know their status, but do you know if there are NGOs are providing services to people arriving in your city without any kind of documentation?
There are community organizations, many of them in Boston, who seek to serve all of our Boston residents.
Y'all, talk about a tale of 4 cities in this go-round. You have Denver, very liberal, very open, and so open-minded that their brains have sort of fallen out in this scenario. They're paying $79 million for illegal migrants. Then you have Chicago, which, by the way, is blaming everything. This mayor is an absolute disgrace. He's blaming everything on Governor Abbott of Texas for busing migrants up to Chicago. I don't think that's how most of them got there, bub. All right? I don't tend to believe that ridiculous little talking point here. But in Chicago, it's $574.5 million. Chicago obviously is much larger than Denver, but it's going to get even worse when you also take into account Mayor Eric Adams' own beloved New York City at $6.9 billion with a B. Okay? B isn't just for Brian, it's for billion. That's insane. And then it gets even worse. Boston, what's wrong with you? Okay, what is wrong with you? Y'all were great when you were throwing the tea into the harbor. Y'all were fantastic at the Battle of Bunker Hill. What happened to y'all, all right? Listen, just because Tom Brady won you a lot of Super Bowls and just because the Red Sox are finally a relevant team again doesn't mean y'all can leave all your responsibilities at the door, okay? We don't even have the number because the mayor refuses to count anything because they want to make like an ostrich, put their head in the sand, plug their fingers in their ears, and try to drown out the noise with whatever they can. This is absolutely insane. And then when you want to look at these individual mayors themselves, it gets worse. Mayor Wu is hiding behind Ash Wednesday, and for the people who do celebrate that, good for you. But she is doing that almost on purpose for performance art in this case, because it will shield her from a whole lot of criticism. Granted, her faith might be legitimate. I am not here to question that. I'm merely looking at what I see to be true, and that is a shield. Okay? That's a shield for her. Then there's Mayor Eric Adams, who has realized that the Democrats would rather see his reputation destroyed than his city actually take care of a major problem. And so he is trying to work with Republicans now as much as humanly possible, because he knows that on one hand, the Democrats want to destroy his career. On the other hand, he might actually be able to help out New York City. Not a real hard debate here for Mayor Eric Adams, who also sort of ran on this platform. And then you have Mayor Johnston of Denver. You can tell this man has been coached up by a legal team. Ironically enough, a former Biden staffer is now giving him all the talking points he needs for $1,000 an hour, and they're representing the city for a contract of 1 year because they're expecting Tom Homan to come in and absolutely mess them up. And then you have, I think, the worst case here. Arguably, Mayor Wu might be a worse mayor, but Mayor Johnson of Chicago, what are you doing? Oh, okay. I know your city is a bit unique. I know the South Side ain't a good place to come from, but Mayor Johnson, seriously, that's the best y'all can do? A dude that thinks that by blaming Greg Abbott for the migrant crisis, who is buying this? You know, besides brain-dead rich white liberals. Not to mention affluent, wealthy, female urban liberals, also known as awfuls. So there's that tidbit for today. But ultimately, these four mayors all know that there's a major problem. One of them knows that there's a storm coming and he's lawyering up. Another has already had the storm come and he's now working as much as he can with the Republicans. That's Mayor Adams. You have another mayor and Mayor Johnson who just refuses to deal with any of the actual problems of the city, refuses to take responsibility. And then there's Boston's Michelle Wu, or at least Mayor Wu, who for some reason won't take any responsibility either. I don't know what is happening in American cities. Maybe the mind virus that is the woke mind virus, maybe the Trump derangement syndrome, maybe just these poor people are just so functionally brain dead in their little conclaves of these ivory tower gated communities. They don't ever have to deal with the actual problems of illegal immigration. This is why just the other year, we saw a whole bunch of minority voters, Latinos, blacks, urban whites. We saw a whole bunch of people get mad at their city councils, particularly in Chicago and New York City, and these videos were going viral like crazy. Well, now the chickens are coming home to roost, and it looks like there's actually some help on the horizon. But first, we also need to take a look at California as well, because it's not just these four cities, folks. It's even worse in, of course, Democrat majority, supermajority California. A California budget official revealed this week that taxpayers in the Democrat-run state are paying billions of dollars more on health care for legal immigrants than previously known. Wait a minute. I know they're crazy enough to pay their health care, but apparently it's even worse than originally anticipated. It gets worse. Guadalupe Manriquez, sorry, I am terrible at this. Guadalupe Manriquez, the California Department of Finance program budget manager, told the state budget committee on Monday that the state is spending $9.5 billion in total funds to cover undocumented individuals in Medi-Cal in the current year. And Manriquez explained that this is a revised number based on the governor's budget updated estimates, adding the earlier figure from the earlier budget act. You mean to tell me that they are shelling out even more money than previously thought? I think this is proof positive that Democrats can't govern. They don't know how to properly protect their own citizens. They waste taxpayer dollars like there's no tomorrow, and there's no accountability. And finally, they're going to go in front of Congress. They're going to get a slap on the wrist. They're going to get sent home. And most of them are likely going to get reelected. Mayor Johnston, he might not be. He might be in some hot legal trouble. Mayor Johnson, I don't think he's going to face any scrutiny. Neither will Mayor Wu. The only one who's facing any scrutiny is Mayor Eric Adams for, actually wanting to deal with this problem. And meanwhile, Virginia Woolf has definitely had enough. She is not a grandma you want mad at you. This is someone that will work harder than a hound dog who's picked up the scent, because this woman is just a bulldog of a legislator, and she's not even letting them have it here in this situation. She's just wanting them to admit how bad the rot is. And oh boy, to the tune of $6.9 billion just in New York City? Good grief. I wonder how deep the rot has gone with this one, but if those numbers are to be believed, Doge can't hold a candle to how much Democrats are wasting their own taxpayer dollars. This is, simply put, just insane. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on PolitiBrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.